Live from the Brian Gunzel Studios, this is the Locked Up Sports New York Mets pregame show. Mets baseball on Locked Up Sports starts now.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. This is the Locked Up Sports New York Mets pregame show as they start a huge 7 days here. 3 against Cincinnati, then 3 in Philadelphia. And everything should kind of work itself out over this next 7 days, barring, a complete collapse by the Mets or by Philly or by another team. It's going to kind of be sorted out this time next week as we hit Citi Field again. But the Mets have work to do. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Bob Walters. This is the Brian Gunzel, inside the Brian Gunzel Studios. Listen, the Mets making news. Senga out of the rotation, off the team, as he was optioned down to AAA to go work on things, right? He's got to work on things. They're not going well. And they're not going well for Manaea and Peterson lately either. And Peterson starts tonight, his biggest start of the season. Let's see if he can get things worked out. I mean, you really, at this point, wish they could do a 3-man rotation, right? As Sprota's joined the team. Tong pitched well his first time out. He goes tomorrow against the Reds in a huge game. And McLean has really risen to the top and made himself the ace of the staff over his 3 starts and has just been brilliant in all of them and is now the ace of the staff. I mean, it's really something that you never see, is a team in the position like the Mets are in where they're probably going to go to the playoffs, barring a lot has to happen for them not to go to the playoffs. And we'll talk about that in a second. But a team that's headed for October, just completely revamping their starting rotation. I mean, you're looking at the top 3 starters going into the playoffs, depending on how Sprota is. I know we haven't seen him yet, but the top 3 starters going in the rotation, going into the playoffs, are 3 guys that weren't on the team, a month ago. That is, it's risky. It's innovative in a way. It's necessary for this Mets team, because they couldn't make it the whole way with that staff. And Senga accepted. He didn't have to accept the option now because of his service time and everything like that, and his age. He didn't have options left. So the Mets optioned him. He could have said no and become a free agent, been off the team. I think he knows. Senga's one of the guys. He kind of knows that it's not working. I mean, a lot of guys, it's not easy. You got to swallow your pride. And you got to go down to the minor leagues and you got to work on things. And he's trying to get back into this rotation for the playoffs. He's hoping to be back in the rotation, get things fixed and get things sorted out, because we've seen Senga be dominant. And for some reason, I don't know if the fork ball is just not, if he's telegraphing it or it's just not diving the way it was, but the hitters are just spitting on it. They're laying it off and they're just eating them up with the fastball. And he's got to work on that. He's not effective if the forkball is not getting swings and misses, which it hasn't been since he came back from injury. Bottom line, that's it. Manaea is going 3 and 4 innings. Peterson last time out gave up 5 runs in the first inning. You can't have that. This team is fighting for its life here to get into the playoffs. And it looks like they're going to be the 3rd wild card. I guess they could hop over San Diego, who has really just, been in a free fall, lost 8 of 10. They had that division just 2 weeks ago. They've now lost 8 of 10, and they are only a game ahead of the Mets. The Cubs are 5 ahead of the Mets, and the Phillies for the division, if you still want to, dream about that, are 6 up on the Mets, and the Mets go there for 4 starting on Friday night or Thursday night, I believe. Thursday night. Because you got tonight 3 in Cincinnati and then 4 in Philadelphia. And if the Mets want to have any chance at winning the division, they're going to have to sweep there. But the Phillies are playing well. The Phillies have been playing well. The Mets have been playing better, taking 2 out of 3 in Detroit. You would have liked to get that sweep. That's what you're looking for now. But they didn't. They took 2 of 3. It's not a disaster like the Marlins series was. But like I said, you would have liked to get that 3rd game. They didn't get it. Now here they are in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has not played well lately. They've kind of been in a free fall. They've actually dropped behind the San Francisco Giants, and the Giants are now 4 games behind the Mets, and Cincinnati is 5. So it's an evolving thing, but all you need to know is the Mets are 4 games in the playoffs, and if they play 500 the rest of the way, they should be pretty safe as far as getting into the tournament goes. But you don't want to be on the road for a 3-game series with your season on the line. You don't want to do that. And it's looking more and more like that's exactly what's going to happen. So, they're gonna have to just deal with what they've done and what they got themselves into the situation, and now they're gonna have to deal with it. That it is what it is. So you got Sproat joining the team. He will pitch in 2 days. I believe he will pitch on the 3rd game of this series. Let me just confirm that. You got Abbott going tonight against Peterson. Big game for Peterson. Peterson's got to straighten it out. We know he can do it. We know he can pitch well. We know he hasn't pitched well. And then you got Tong going tomorrow. And then after that, it is the 3rd game of this series, which will be, let's see. You got, which will be Sunday. And Sunday, you got, the Mets haven't announced the starter yet. So it's going to be Tong tomorrow. It's Peterson tonight. It'll probably be Sproat on Sunday, getting his major league debut. And these kids are just coming up and throwing them right into the fire. Right into the fire. Like, no, here you go. We got to win this game today. Here's the ball. Go start in your first major league start. And so far, so good. But there's bound to be a hiccup or two somewhere along the way by all of them, because that's just that's what it is. That's what happens. Very rarely do guys come up into the major leagues and just dominate straight through one of them, let alone 3 of them. So, like I said, the Mets they do have a bit of a cushion where if they play 500, they should be okay. You're going to need San Francisco and Cincinnati to both win, go something like 16-6 if the Mets play 500. So they are looking good for a playoff spot. They won 2 out of 3. They're looking to bury the Reds this weekend, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. They could do away with the Reds if they win. Probably if they win 2 out of 3, they could do away with the Reds. And then you see what the Giants do, and you're trying now to get that first wild card spot. Is what you're really trying to do, but they're just as far away from that as they are from the Phillies. So it's just kind of, let's get everything together. Let's get these kids some innings under their belt. Let's see what they got. We're gonna go into this 3-game series in the playoffs. Who we gonna play? Who knows? But play well going in. The Mets can be very dangerous. The Mets are a very up and down, hot and cold team. They've been that way since the beginning of the season. So it's going to take some luck. It's going to take them getting hot at the right time. And if they do, they could certainly make a run. Because when they're hot and they're pitching well and the bats are going, they're one of the best teams in the sport. But when they're not going well, they're one of the worst teams in the sport. And they've been at the top and at the bottom of that range both many times this season, at least 3 or 4 times this season. They've been the best to start. They've been the best out of the All-Star break. They were the best. And then other times, they went 2-3 months where they were, bottom 5 in baseball. It's a very odd team. It's a very odd season, and we'll see. They're really rolling the dice. It's out of necessity because you can't go into October with Manaea, Peterson, Senga, Holmes. You just can't. You get slaughtered. They can't do it anymore. That's not a starting rotation that can pitch in October. So what they do, they brought the kids up. So far, so good. We'll see how it goes. Another news story today. Alvarez back in the lineup. Says he's feeling good, right? I mean, he says he's feeling good. Let's bring the lineup here up for you. You got, listen, he's throwing right back in there. He's behind the plate. He's catching. So the pinky and the thumb, they got to be all right, right? He must have said that I'm okay. I can throw. I can catch. I can hit. And we'll see how that goes. That's going to be an evolving situation. We'll see how he feels when he's swinging the bat, how he feels when he's behind the plate. We'll see how it goes. But here's tonight's lineup quickly here for you. Lindor leading off. Soto, who has really, shut people up. He has carried the team. He had 6 RBIs in the game against Detroit. he's just been red hot. He's going to get MVP votes. He forget about the waste of money and the bust and everything like that, because that's no longer an issue. Alonso, Pete hitting third. Vientos, the cleanup spot. Nimmo, 5. Nimmo does not hit 5 very often. Marte, DH and hitting 6th. Then you got McNeil playing center. Acuna's hitting 8th today at second base, which is a little deviation. And Alvarez, like we said, hitting 7th. Alvarez hitting 8th. Acuna hitting 9th. And Peterson on the mound. So Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, Nimmo, Marte, McNeil, Alvarez, Acuna. And we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. These are huge games for the Reds. Their season is on the line almost every day here, these 3 games. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the pitching goes. And then we didn't even really talk about the bullpen, because Helsley, I'm done with Helsley. Okay, because you want to keep him on the team, fine. When you need to give up, when you're looking to give up a 3-run home run, you pop in Helsley, because that's what he is. He's just a walking 3-run home run. He blows everything. He has not pitched well at all for this team since the trade. I don't know if he can't do it in New York. I don't know if he's tipping pitches. I don't know what it is. But the bottom line is, every time he comes in, it's a 3-run home run. So unless you need to give up 3 runs, I would not even think about bringing Helsley into any kind of situation. It's not going to work. All right. He's a rental. You don't need to put a ton of effort into it, because why put effort into it if he's going to be gone in at the end of the season anyway? It didn't work. Scrap it. It's done. Rogers is salvageable, I think. And the rest of the bullpen's going to have to come together. You're going to see 1 or 2 of these guys going to the bullpen off the rotation when the playoff comes, because you're not going to go 5 and 6 men in the rotation. And we'll see what they decide to do. So Mets Reds tonight, 7 o'clock, 6:40 actually. It's starting in just a little while. It's Peterson against Abbott. Mets need better Peterson than they got last time. He gave up 5 runs in that first inning. I don't want to hear that Nimmo misplayed it or that he didn't get the grounder. Bottom line is, you got to just keep them off the scoreboard. It's that time of year. Bear down. No excuses. Bury the Reds this weekend. Then go to Philly and see if you could make up any ground on the division. If not, like I said, it should be in good shape. Alvarez back in the lineup. Senga in AAA. Sproat called up on the big club. He pitches Sunday. We'll see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And it should get us to some October baseball. So that's going to do it for us here on the pregame show. I'm Bob Walters. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Every little bit helps. Leave us reviews, rate, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast. Always. And you'll never miss an episode. So that does it for us. Mets and Reds coming up. I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. See ya.